Rainbow Television, the moment of truth has come.
It's a cool Friday afternoon and welcome to Rainbow News. My name is Kathy Matura. Thanks for joining me. We start with the headlines. Litmus test for Gwegwe as he presents his maiden budget this afternoon. Government insists there are no documents for new Mzuzu Airport construction and that it is not renovating Kata Bay Jetty. Farmers Union of Malawi cautions government on its decision to close the 2021-2022 Affordable Input Program. Legal Affairs Committee of Parliament moving to repeal Section 42 of the Corrupt Practices Act. And in sports, Netball Association of Malawi NAM sticking to its plan of segment trainings for the Queens. We have these and other stories. Stand by for the news in detail. Parliament reconvenes this afternoon for a budget presentation. This will be the first daunting task for the new Finance Minister, Sostin Gwegwe. Malawians are yet to see if the composition of the budget will give them hope amid its numerous promises made by the Tonse administration. Government insists they have no documents for the controversial Mzuzu Airport and that a new feasibility study will have to be conducted. This revelation is Lusangazi residents in Mzuzu have demanded an audience with Transport Minister Jacob Hara on the new twist surrounding the airport. The residents have described it as an insult for them to be hearing of the project changes in the media. Details with Tony Luanga.
Frustrations are slowly growing among Lusangazi residents in Mzuzu with the new revelation that the former governing Democratic Progressive Party failed to conduct a feasibility study on the site earmarked for the construction of the controversial Mzuzu Airport. On Wednesday, Transport and Public Works Minister Jacob Hara was so blunt with the media on the project. He told journalists that currently there is no site for the project, claiming the DPP was only advancing cheap politics. This has left over 150 households with more questions than answers. They have been waiting for their compensations, having been stopped to do any development on their land, paving way for the airport. Mavuto Mwanza describes as an insult that the people are hearing of the airport changes through the media, hence demanding an audience with Hara.
Because from 2017, they told us that where the government has put their big ones, it's no longer our place, it's the government's place. And we have maps which was showing that there is going an airport, of which we are just waiting for to be reallocated and to be compensated our properties. So if there's no feasibility study, why did they come to evaluate people's property and making demarcations, bringing a map and serving a certain area that we will reallocate to the other side? All those, if there were no feasibility study, should we say that the government of today is just doing things without planning?
But Transport Minister maintains his office has no single document on the site in question. He adds, however, fresh feasibility studies will be redone on the site and others too.
I heard someone say that we have withdrawn that site. We haven't withdrawn the site. What we are saying is that when we went into the office, we don't have a record of any feasibility study that was done to support that this site is good enough for the airport and all sorts of things. So all those things are not done. So what we're trying to say is that we are going to do those things, setting up that site, considering that there was already some development, moving the people and things like that. But should it work out that that's not a good site, we will consider other sites. But what we want to do is to construct the airport, and we know the first thing is to do the feasibility studies, which were not done.
In July 2017, former President Peter Mutharika visited the site, which is slightly over 10 kilometers from Mzuzu Central Business District CBD. The Exim Bank of China was supposed to fund the much-touted 14 billion kwacha project. For Rainbow News in Mzuzu, this is Tony Luanga.
And in another development, government says it is not ready to renovate the Nkata Bay jetty now, despite developing cracks that have created fear and panic among the people of Likoma Island. The island's traditional authority, Mkumba 3, had asked government to intervene with speed, saying his subjects could not do without the jetty. Tony Luanga is on the story.
We have established that the Nkata Bay jetty is in a bad state. This is despite being the only safer place to dock off from ships. Reports indicate the jetty developed cracks and has been eaten up by waters underneath, creating panic and fear among Likoma Island residents. Traditional authority Mkumba 3 fears reverting to their former state of losing property and lives due to the jetty's pathetic condition. He has since called on authorities' quick intervention before things worsen.
We people from Likoma, we depend in Nkata Bay. With Ilala, we're going to Nkata Bay. And when we come there, we do disembark Ilala on the jet. And that if that jet is not good, they must be sure that they're going to get another way for us to be descending up, down and up in Nkata Bay.
Despite this lead flag, Transport and Public Works Minister Jacob Hara tells us it is difficult to work on the place until the rain stops. He revealed an assessment process on all transport infrastructure damaged by the nationwide heavy downpour is currently underway.
2 weeks, we are still assessing, considering the damage still occurring. And then at the time, what we want to do is we will be able to have an idea of the cost and everything, and then we'll sit down to do a plan of repairing all the damages. So for now, because of it's rainy season, construction kind of like slows down because we can't go on site. So we will wait until that time that we're able to hit the ground.
Nkata Bay jetty was launched in 2018. Then its contractor, Motor NG, reportedly indicated it would have a lifespan of about 20 years. For Rainbow News in Mzuzu, this is Donel Wanga.
Farmers Union of Malawi Form has cautioned government that its decision to close the 2021-2022 Affordable Input Program AIP would result in low harvest, as most beneficiaries of the program did not redeem their farm inputs. Union President Frighton Jolomole told Rainbow the development was most unfortunate. Kundrani Piri with the details.
In November last year, President Lazarus Chakwera launched the 2021-2022 Affordable Input Program, AIP, which was expected to benefit 2.7 million underprivileged households. However, just like the previous financial year, the 2021-2022 program has faced various challenges which have resulted in some beneficiaries failing to access the farm inputs. Among other hiccups faced by the program is failure by some suppliers to deliver the farm inputs to designated selling market points and cases of corruption. Despite authorities assuring the general public of addressing such, nothing seems to have changed. On Monday this week, the Ministry of Agriculture announced the closure of the program, despite that most beneficiaries are yet to redeem their farm inputs. This has not gone down well with the Farmers Union of Malawi, which has described the development as unfortunate. President for the union, Frighton Jolomole, said the decision by authorities could lead to low harvest in most areas. He therefore appealed to the Ministry of Agriculture to rescind its decision so that all the beneficiaries of the AIP should access their inputs. However, Ministry of Agriculture spokesperson Gresham Lungu defended the move, saying farmers were given enough time to redeem their farm inputs. According to Lungu, the initiative, which was supposed to end in December last year, was extended with 2 months. He added the ministry is satisfied with the way the program has been managed despite facing some minor challenges. In the 2021-2022 national budget, Parliament reduced beneficiaries of the Affordable Input Program from 3.7 million to 2.7 million.
To Two DPP recently appointed shadow cabinet ministers have pulled out from the list, revealing widening cracks in the biggest opposition party. However, Shadow Information Minister Mark Bottoman says the two, Machinga Lukwenu's Brighton Saka and Chirazulu South Joseph Mwanamveka, had actually applied pressure on Nankuma to include them in the announced controversial shadow cabinet, a claim Saka strongly disputes. Bottoman has since registered surprise with the MPs' withdrawals from the cabinet, but indicated that they saw it coming. Robert Edward reports.
Failure to consult as a reason was first advanced by the Democratic Progressive Party's Administrative Secretary Francis Mpebo when the party disagreed with Nankuma's shadow cabinet. Now, Chirazulu South Registrator Joseph Mwanamveka tells Rainbow that after his appointment in the shadow cabinet, he discovered that the party leadership had not been consulted, hence his decision to withdraw from the shadow cabinet.
The reasons, as I have communicated in the document that you may have seen, when I checked with the authorities of our party, when I checked with the president, when I checked with the members of the executive committee, they were told they were not aware.
However, the Shadow Minister of Information, Mike Borman, gives a contrary view.
For your information, on these particular individuals, particular honorable members, Honorable Msaka and Honorable Mwanamveka, evidence is there, and leader of opposition can come out and tell you that they actually went to his office prior to the appointment of the shadow cabinet to lobby for them to be included in the shadow cabinet. And so that's why we're saying that we are surprised that they're coming out now. So they lobbied in the same positions that were appointed.
Again, Borman emphasized to Rainbow that the positions would be refilled. Machinga Lukwenu MP Brighton Saka was the first to indicate that he did not recognize Nankuma's shadow cabinet. He has also strongly disputed Borman's claims that the two had lobbied with Nankuma for the shadow ministerial positions. It is yet to be seen if the party will be able to stand as one solid block, as the divisions are more real than apparent. For Rainbow, this is Robert Edward.
Stakeholders in the agriculture sector have urged government to consider reducing funds towards the Affordable Input Program and divert the funds to other areas. They say this will help avoid land degradation, which is being caused by the excessive use of fertilizers. Chief Executive Officer for NASFAM, Betty Chinyamnyam, said this in Lilongwe on yesterday during an agriculture policy conference organized by Civil Society Organization Network. Chinyamnyam said there were a number of agriculture activities that were suffering but yet could benefit if the country trimmed down some funds from the program. She therefore urged government to find strategies on how it could trim down the funds without affecting the yield production. Chinyamnyam told Rachel July yesterday.
AIP utilizes a lot of our forex because all the fertilizers that is used in the AIP is imported. So there's a lot of forex that goes into AIP, and that forex is used to produce maize. At the moment, most of the maize is consumed locally. So basically the forex is just being consumed. We're not investing it.
However, Deputy Minister of Agriculture Madalito Kampawa Wilima said government would look into the matter. She emphasized that it would not completely take out the AIP from the system, as doing so would deprive the underprivileged farmers the right to affordable inputs. This is what Wilima said.
For now, we are coming up with reforms on AIP in the ministry, and in those reforms, we are aware that there are other ways that we can handle AIP in a way that we can add value to how it is delivered, to how the program is being delivered as of now.
NASFAM has since warned that if the country does not find other ways of managing the agriculture sector by 2030, the country's soil will not be able to respond to the applied fertilizers. You're watching a live broadcast of Rainbow News from Lilongwe. See you after this break.
Pali chinthu chimodzi chomwe ambiri amalakwisa pa nkhani yomanga nyumba. Nyumba yanu sinafike pokhala nyumba yodalirika ngati simunayike denga la zitsulo, chifukwa ngati mwayika matabwa pangatalike bwanji adzaola. Malizitsani nyumba yanu, church, warehouse ndi zina zambiri poyika denga la zitsulo. Ife a NY Engineering and Metal Fabricators tili pano kukuthandizani kukwanisa maloto anu pa mtengo wotsika. Timapanga magate, window and door frames, roofing ndi zina zambiri, ndipo timafika kwina kulikonse komwe mungatifune. Tipezeni kumachinjiri mu mzinda wa Blantyre pa Nkwate, kapena timbireni foni pa 0882 339 082 kapena 0999 256 942. NY Engineering and Metal Fabricators. Try us and you never regret.
Imagine if your products and services became brands that come first in the minds of your target audience. Imagine if your communications appealed to people's emotions and become their beliefs that stimulate desirable actions. Shh! Imagine things no more. Skyline International is your solution. We have mastered the art of speaking to the heart of hearts. Our whispers waft into subconscious mind. We are a marketing communications firm that you need for maximum impact in branding, events management, design and print, branding materials, signage, indoor and outdoor advertising, mobile advertising, and the list just goes. Turn your marketing and communications imaginations into a reality. Talk to Skyline International on 0999 320 227. Skyline International. Let's do it.
Welcome back. Moving on, the Legal Affairs Committee of Parliament is introducing a bill to repeal Section 42 of the Corrupt Practices Act. The section in question gives powers to Director of Public Prosecutions to either grant or deny consent for prosecution of a case. In a press statement, Chairperson for the committee, Peter Dimba, describes the provision as an unnecessary stumbling block to free operations of the Anti-Corruption Bureau. The decision has been arrived at following engagement between the committee and the Director, Dr. Steve Kayuni, including ACB Chief Martha Chizuma. Kayuni had deferring consent for the ACB to prosecute a corruption case. Peter Dimba speaks to Rainbow.
Having listened to both the DPP and the ACB Director General, and having further appreciated the circumstances concerning the granting of consent in the Ashok Nair case and other cases which the Bureau is handling, the committee is of the opinion that Section 42 of the CPA is an unnecessary hurdle and interferes with the independence of the ACB in the prosecution of cases. The committee will therefore move a private member's motion seeking leave of the House to bring a private member's bill on the matter concerning the granting of the consent to the ACB by the DPP under the Corrupt Practices Act. Furthermore, the committee noted the various challenges which the ACB is experiencing, including erratic funding of cash flow requests due to FMS and inadequate security to its officers. The committee will, during this budget meeting of Parliament, make the necessary submissions for more funding to the ACB. Finally, the Legal Affairs Committee is calling upon all stakeholders to unite in the fight against corruption, because
over 500 child marriages have been dissolved in Cheo this January. However, stakeholders in the district are worried that the malpractice may continue should borders with Mozambique continue being porous. Social welfare officer for the district, Rodwell Chunga, says the ended marriages were recorded in 2020 during the COVID-19 induced school holiday, as Ncheu registered 602 child marriages. Collins Kalivute has filed this report.
The Office of Social Welfare in Incheu claims out of 602 child marriage cases registered during the 2020 COVID-19 induced school holiday, 562 child marriages have been dissolved by January this year. However, Social Welfare Officer in Incheu, Rodwo Chunga, says despite the strides, their office is failing to make serious headways in dealing with the problem due to porosity at the border with Mozambique. He claims some men who marry minors flee to Mozambique and come back years later to continue with the marriage, and their office fails to properly follow these cases.
Whenever children get into marriages, some of the husbands, they just run away with the children to border in Mozambique. These are serious cases where we cannot immediately make follow-ups. And some of the challenges are that some of the dissolved families, they also come back and reunite again, which is also has been a challenge.
Meanwhile, chairperson for Incheu Civil Society Organization, Leman Ngayai, observes traditional chiefs can play a big role in ending the malpractice in rural areas by enacting bylaws against child marriages.
We should all hold hands and make sure that no girl is implemented while in school, while they're still young, while they're still children, until they finish their education.
According to Incheu Social Welfare Office, cultural beliefs and poverty are some of the big contributing factors to child marriages.
We now go on to business news. The National Commission for Science and Technology is optimistic local technological innovations will be used as development tools in the industrial sector development. Director General for the Commission, Elijah Wanda, says at the moment they have already identified 18 innovators and their inventions will support them once they get their share in the upcoming budget allocation. Romeo O'Malley has a report.
We have got so many channels that we use. Apart from what I talked about, reaching out to the would-be interested innovators, we have also been reaching out to individuals that are interested in maybe getting support with respect to maybe their research capacity. And these well-deserved Malawians, both in the formal and informal sector. In addition to that, we have also reached out to some institutions by way of maybe adverts that we have put up in the local press, that we have put up in the maybe social media, but also through our website, which is also active. And in most cases, once we have something, we usually post on our website. So we ensure that, apart from reaching out to researchers, reaching out to innovators, reaching out to maybe technologists, we also come up with maybe some commission projects that would respond to the aspirations of the country as maybe guided by the MW 2063, but also MIP1, because we know that science, technology, innovation, these are key enablers in as far as attainment of the MIP1 and also MW 2063 are concerned.
Now let's take a look at what is happening in the world of entertainment. Best musicians have joined hands in an effort to support flood victims in the country through a fundraising event called United for Flood Victims Music Concert. The event will take place on the 27th of February at Sunbed Capital Hotel in Lilongwe. Chisomo Nyirenda filed a report being read by Romeo O'Malley.
Just a few days after the Climate Change and Meteorological Services announced that the northern and central region should expect heavy rains and thunderstorms, musicians based in Lilongwe have joined hands to raise funds to support flood victims across the country as Malawi is still struggling with the damages caused by heavy rains, including Cyclone Anna. Speaking to Rainbow, Levi Msagambewa said the event will have various activities including aerobics, comedy, and music performances.
We are calling it United for Flood Victims Music Concert. The idea is we raise funds with a target of 15 million, and we should be able to raise either to reach that amount or any other.
One of the artists performing at the event, Joe Kells, says this is one of the few ways of giving back to Malawians for the support they give to local artists.
As creatives, we've got a lot of people who follows us, a lot of people which we can easily influence because they love our art. And if we are at the front of these kind of charity movements, I think we're also going to set a good example to other people who have got the passion to do so.
For the past few years, artists have championed several campaigns and charity work in the country, including gender-based violence, girl empowerment, and various donations in schools and hospitals, among others.
And finally, we give you the sports update. The Netball Association of Malawi now will stick to its plan of segment trainings for the Malawi Queens ahead of the Commonwealth Games after concluding the first phase. So far, the technical panel for the Queens has identified 30 players out of 4 to weigh into camp. Meanwhile, Queens head coach Peace Chawinga says the selected girls will not rest as they have already opted for home trainings while waiting for the next group session. Paul Kalaji reports from Blantyre.
Despite wrangles that erupted before the start of the Queen's camping, the team has managed to finish its first training session, which was for 2 weeks. Queen's head coach Peace Chawinga touts the positive response from players. So far, players to go for next camping have been selected.
The response so far has been good. We have finalized to do what we wanted to do. If you can remember, we had a pool of players which were there. After the tryouts, we did the whole Malawi. So that long list, all the players have been seen. We have tried to see them. Some were seen during the Camp B, and the remaining ones and the ones chosen were all brought together this time around, whereby we did go finalize, assess them, and choose the players. So I can confidently say that the reason for the camping was fulfilled.
NAMU is in due course expected to announce dates for another 2-week session. The Queens are preparing for Commonwealth Games slated for July to August this year in Birmingham, England. For Rainbow in Blantyre, this is Paul Kalaje.
That report by Paul Kalaje winds up our bulletin this afternoon. The headlines once again. Litmus test for Kwenkwe as he presents his maiden budget this afternoon. Government insists there are no documents for New Zuzu Airport construction and that it is not renovating Kata Bay Jetty. Farmers Union of Malawi cautions government on its decision to close the 2021-2022 Affordable Input Program. Legal Affairs Committee of Parliament moving to repeal Section 42 of the Corrupt Practices Act. And in sports, Netball Association of Malawi sticking to its plan of segment trainings for the Queens. You've been with me, Kathy Matura. Thanks for choosing Rainbow. Have a great afternoon.